Hello. Hey, this is the holiday season, and I thought it would be just a whole lot of fun to just do some raw recording on what I do in the kitchen. Okay, now normally I don't do a lot of cooking for the holiday season, but this year we got some family. We're going to be going over and visiting with them, and we were invited to take some dishes with us. And of course, me and the way I think, I like to do things a certain way. In other words, present myself a certain way. So I'm going to put forth a certain number of dishes and of a certain quality. That's my goal. But I have to start on them now. You know, some things take a lot of time. I'm going to start making some tamales. So I've got some chilies here, and behind me over here I have a roasting pan. And here I've got a big old pork roast. I don't know if you've ever made tamales before. If you haven't ever made tamales, oh, you've missed out. Let me tell you, good tamales, the ones that are made right, oh, they are incredibly good tasting. And the things in the can are not anywhere close to what a tamale actually tastes like. Those things just, they shouldn't even be made. Ugh. Okay, so I've got this. I'm about to put it in that pan with some chilies and a little bit of water, some salt and pepper, you know, that kind of stuff. And I'm going to let it sit and braise. This thing has to braise long enough for the meat to fall apart. And then I'm going to refrigerate it. We're going to chill it down, okay? After it's gotten nice and cold, I'll then separate the meat and fats, and that becomes part of my tamales, okay? So I save the juices, which are the gelatin. I save the fat on top of that, that lard. Every bit of it gets used. So the tamales really kind of evolve into a wonderful thing, and there is very little waste. Anyway, going to do that. I'm also going to be making some, got butter that's coming up in temperature. I'm going to make some of my cheese crackers. I put that recipe out just a couple of weeks ago. Other things I'm going to make this week, I'm going to do some chocolate chip cookies, some magic cookie bars. Some people call them Hello Dolly cookies. I haven't decided if I want to do snickerdoodles or not, I'm not sure. But I'm also going to be making like a sweet potato casserole, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, this kind of stuff. All right, and so I've kind of got this whole list of stuff here that I'm going to be doing this week. And so I'm not like doing a specific recipe. I'm just showing you how I do stuff in the kitchen. That's all. Okay. So, got a roaster. I've got a piece of pork here. I've got some chilies. I'm not going to process these in any way. I'm just going to split them in half and throw them right down in there. This, just remove it from the package. It goes in there. That's all there is to it. And we cook it slowly. Bake. Okay. My rack is already in the lower position where I need it. Excellent. Cool. This is easy enough. Come on a little closer and let's do this thing, okay? All right. Now, sometimes when I do things, I do the lazy method, okay? And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm not worried about the roast or anything getting on my hand. I just don't want to waste a lot of time going from this job to the next job. Normally I don't like to cut the roast if I'm opening it, but in this case I don't care. There we go. And something I want to mention to you. One of the reasons that you'll see me use gloves a lot of the time, let me flip this over first, is for this very one reason. See how I got the meat package right there in my glove? Alright, turn that inside out. Turn that one inside out. Now I'm ready to move right on to the next step. Okay. So as I mentioned, absolutely nothing special on my preparation. That was the oven telling me it's up to temperature. So, chili's in there. I'm going to put some water in here also. I need some salt over the top of this. I'm not putting any pepper in there because I'm not trying to season this so much as I am just trying to get it cooked, okay? Okay, I usually have to do this a couple of times. And what I'm looking for is to have liquid at least halfway up on my roast. You know, if you ever decide to make your own tamales, I recommend try my recipe. You're gonna love it. I've got several tamale videos up, and they are all really, really good videos and great tamales. The latest one that I did, I forgot what season it was, shows me doing this in 2 stages. There we go. I'm trying to get those chilies submerged. Stage 1 is where I cook the roast and chill it down, okay? And I do that way on purpose. The whole idea is to make it easier to shred it. I don't want to burn my hands. Also, I want in the liquid here, all of the fats that cook out of this, I want those to surface so I can pick them off of the top. That's that saturated fat. Also, I want the gelatin that'll be underneath. I'm going to harvest that for making part of my sauce and to rehydrate some of the meat once it has been shredded. Okay, so cool stuff, reusing stuff. Now it goes in the oven, and how long it cooks, well, that depends on the roast. When the meat falls apart on it, I'm done cooking. It's going to be a number of hours. Yeehaw. All right. There we go. I just need to be patient. You know, the thing about tamales are delicious, but it's a multi-step process. It takes a while, okay? Oh, I've been working on this kitchen. Let me show you what I've been doing. You know, sometime back, we had started working on this kitchen. That vent hood right there, I moved it up, built some special brackets to hang it, took out the cabinets above it, and the cabinets right over here where all of that was setting. And so I've turned this into an open workspace that's very functional. Changed out the cooktop there and got things, you know, kind of up to par. Over on the other side though, I took an area that had originally been like for, I think it was a laundry area. Had hookups for the machines and all that stuff. And took that and rebuilt it. We fixed it up for a pantry and a recessed refrigerator, ran water to it and all of that. The pantry had already been removed long ago by the previous owner, and then had moved it out to the garage. So we have, excuse me, not pantry, but linen closet. So we have moved that out to the garage. We've got the machines out there, the washer, dryer, and all that. But here inside, I've got this going on with my new pantry. Let me show you what we did there. So anyway, we had this all sitting open, and I've just now cut these new doors. I had already built the pantry and got all of this installed, okay? And I'm about to do a filler area here where we have storage for a little like a step stool. But the pantry over here, as you can see, we've got it all set up, and I'm about to do some plastic bins and stuff in there for, you know, things that are perishable items, powdery items, stuff like that. So that's that. And oh, by the way, till now I haven't noticed, but my lens is filthy, so if it looks awful, I apologize. We'll get it cleaned up and get moved on. I've got to shred some cheese, measure out my Rice Krispies and flour and stuff like that to make my cheese crackers. So that's kind of what I'm focused on next. Well, I'm getting ready to grate my cheese. This is one of those dishes where, you know, like macaroni and cheese, if you do, it's all based on the quality of the cheese if you get right down to it. So I like to use a good quality cheese, and it's more about flavor than anything else. An extra sharp cheddar, when it comes to cooking, stands out in the dish better, plain and simple. Even if you don't like it so much just by itself, when it comes to cooking, your dishes will be much improved to use a sharper cheese. regardless of the type of cheese. There we go. So what I'll do is I'm going to shred up all of this, and then I'll measure out the pound that I need. And that way I don't have to do any more shredding on the same block later. And as you can see, you know, when it comes to grating your own cheese, folks, it doesn't take long. It doesn't take a lot of work. So for goodness sakes, save yourself a little money. Do your own grating. It's not that much work. All right, just getting my scale over here, and I've got my cheese here. I've already emptied that once into this bag. I'll show you what I did. I just take my whole grater when it's full, put it in, give it a shake, and boom, there's your shredded cheese. Put my bowl up there. Zero it out. There we go. So I need 1 pound. Up to 10, 15 ounces, 15.7. There we go. 1 pound of cheese. Got my butter ready. My cheese is ready. I'm just going to measure out 4 cups of flour, 4 cups of Rice Krispies, and my recipe's ready to make. I love this one. It's so easy. The things, they taste so doggone good. All right. Third cup right there. And oh, and by the way, the reason you see me tap that, if there was any voids of flour in there, it would fall into that void and I would know it's not completely full. A simple light tap reveals that. Okay, there we go. Flour's all measured out with a little bit of a mess. Okay, I'll move on to the next. You know, it's really cool in this dish. These things, when they take in the butter from this dish, they become more like a kind of a soft nut, like a cooked pecan would, that texture. But it has just a buttery flavor. It's really cool. Well, it looks like I have everything here all ready. I'm going to put my butter down into a large bowl to finish coming up in temperature, and the cheese will need to come up to room temperature. In doing that, the whole thing combines a lot easier. It's just a matter of mashing it into a dough and then making little balls with that dough, and after that they're ready to be cooked. Okay, I've just measured out my my cayenne and salt. I put it in here with my butter. Butter's now room temperature. It's been a couple hours. And yeah, I'm just hanging out, sitting down. I'm using about, a teaspoon or so of that. If you want this recipe, know how to make this. There's, I did my cheese crackers just a couple of episodes back, so take a look at that, and it's the whole recipe for this. Roast has been in the oven a couple hours. It'll probably be in there likely a couple hours more, at least 1 hour more. I'll check it with a fork when it's fork tender. It's fork tender, you know. Until then, I'm going to take this nice warm cheese and that nice warm butter. I put the spices down in there. I'm going to get this stuff mashed together. When I mash that together, then I'll slowly work in the flour. And after I make a nice dough, I work in that the cereal here, these rice, crisped rice. That's good stuff. Anyway, and mash it into little pats and bake it. Now I can make the little balls for it and just set those aside, because once the dough is made, it can just sit there as long as you need until you're ready to make your crackers or cheese balls or whatever. You can put olives in the middle of this or other stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a neat dough. You can play around with it. All right. So now I've got this, hey, cheese and butter thing going on. And just enough cheese left in that bowl to make the dog happy. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. I've got to make the dog happy. And very gently when it comes to the flour, otherwise it can squirt up from between your fingers and line your walls rather quickly. So just kind of gently work it in. So yeah, boom. Little thing coming right along here. So if you notice, you know, when it comes time to get in the kitchen and cook, whether it be for the holidays or for a meal or a snack or whatever it is that you're doing, you don't have to make it a chore. Just get in, kick back, and enjoy it. Now, a lot of times, I'm busy with the music on, okay? Normally, if I was doing this right here, just hanging out, I would be doing it with music playing, all right? I don't do that during the videos because, you know, there's the copyright thing to deal with, and so I don't mess with all of that. This recipe, this comes from my young childhood. Mom would make this when I was a little boy. I just grew up with it in the 60s. So I've known this recipe quite literally my whole life. And it has, it's always been one of my favorites. I would get in the kitchen and be busy eating the cheese crackers and the cheese balls that Mom would make, and that would frustrate her to no end. So she finally got to where she would make the cheese balls, put them in the freezer and freeze them without cooking them. And that was to keep me from eating them all. And then I figured out how to heat them up myself, and all bets were off. Just want to say thanks for sharing the holiday season with me, or at least a part of it. So this is going to be, I guess, the end of, you know, basically just the first little video I'm doing on this, which is, hey, guess what happened to the kitchen? And here's what I'm starting with for the holiday season. And please join in. And that's what I'm planning on doing. Is I've got a, like I said, a laundry list of stuff to make. And I thought I would just kind of include y'all in the whole thing. So, thanks for watching. Please take a look right underneath this video. Down in the description box, there are some links there. That's my website. S.A.Trotter.com is my website where I sell the recipes. This recipe, the tamale recipe that's in the oven, and there's going to be more of that in the coming videos in the next few days, because I do this not all in one day. So tomorrow there'll be more video on how to do that. All right, really cool. And oh, by the way, those tamales include, you know, how to make a chili sauce from dried chilies. Wow, good stuff. Check it out, please. Take a look at my links. Please subscribe, like the video, and all that good stuff. And you have a good day. Bye-bye. Yeah, there we go.